I'm Lisa Collins, coming to you live from NAB Show 2024. I'm delighted to be joined by Andy Hooper from Ateliere. Andy, thanks for being with us.
A pleasure to be here.
Brilliant. Tell us a bit about Ateliere.
Sure. So Ateliere is a media supply chain company. We operate exclusively on AWS. So you'll find us here at the AWS Partner Village. And what do? Effectively, within the whole process flow of taking content out of the production side of a business and a media and entertainment business and moving it to where it needs to be to make money, you have the supply chain, you have all the steps you have to take to get that content organized, processed, changed around depending on what you need to do to deliver it to different platforms and streaming endpoints. So Ateliere's system, Ateliere Connect, is really focused on managing all of that, on putting a really compelling user experience for the operations teams in place, because people are getting a bit bored of using spreadsheets to organize all this. So we provide a user interface and a wrapper environment which really makes the operations job a lot more efficient, a lot more enjoyable, I might even hesitate to say, and gives you a wrapper really for all of the tools that you need to apply to that content as it flows through that those step-by-step procedures that need to take place before it gets to where it needs to be ultimately consumed.
Yeah, and what would you say are your biggest differentiators?
So we have built a number of features into that process flow which are quite unique in the industry, and I'm going to talk about one in particular, which is our deduplication feature. So for a lot of organizations, when they are in the process of distributing this content, you are creating potentially lots of different versions. And across those versions, it could be the case that the bulk of the content is identical from one to the other. And if you're storing all of those in an AWS S3 bucket, for example, then the storage volume goes up quite fast. It can be quite a significant issue for a number of organizations. With deduplication, we put a user interface around that, which lets you compare using AI-based technology, the interior of the video, frame by frame, ultimately bring out from those tools where you might be able to make savings, gives you a map, composition playlist of where those savings can be. And in some cases, we can give savings of 75, 80, or even 85% more savings in that environment. That's quite compelling, and a lot of organizations are taking advantage of that now.
Well, that sounds great. And what are you showing here at NAB?
So in addition to that, we are showing the overall system, and in particular, we've been listening to our customers who, when we've asking them what's slowing you down or what's making life hard when it comes to using a supply chain system in the cloud, we've been listening to their feedback, and we sort of realized around 6 months ago that the new generation of AI tools that were coming to market around Gen AI could be very interesting to overlay on top of that entire system and provide a new way of interacting with it. So for us, it was great because having built the system in a very API-centric way, the AI can go and process all of that and make it available through natural language interfaces. So we're demonstrating the way that you can now take that content, throw it all into the system, and have the AI suggest to you where it might fit within your title hierarchies, where it might be associated together. And we think it can make the operations team's efficiency significantly higher when it comes to actually getting content into the system. And then you can ask it to make a delivery for you, and it will go ahead and it will tell you, well, you could make a delivery to, say, Amazon Prime tomorrow, but you haven't got the artwork in this format, and you need the subtitles in French, or whatever else it might be.
Very clever.
In an interactive way, it will actually then tell you what you need and help you go out and take those actions within the system to complete your delivery package, and away it goes.
Wow. And what's coming next?
So, well, I think at this show, the Gen AI stuff is admittedly very widespread. Everyone's talking about it. Very few are actually demonstrating it to quite such a compelling degree, I think, as what we've shown in Connect. So feel free to come by and see it or take a look at our website. But next comes the bigger picture, I think, around where we as a company want to grow. We see a lot of interest, not just in putting supply chains for file-based media in the cloud, but of course there's a whole raft of things that we could be doing around things like live. The company is growing, the company is very ambitious, so we're looking at live, we're looking at the production end, and yes, I think by the time we get to NAB a year from now, there may be some things to talk about in that regard.
Excellent. And talking of NAB show, you've been many times. What makes it special for you?
Well, we get a bit of sunshine. I'm from the UK, and quite frankly, getting some sunshine is special. I mean, how ridiculous is that? But you know what that's.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so that's quite special. I mean, look, it's a fantastic environment. Everyone's happy to be here and networking, meeting with colleagues, meeting with friends. It's very easy just to walk up to people, introduce yourself. People are doing it to you, and get to know everyone in the industry. I mean, it's a fantastic environment in which to get to know what's going on, to get the buzz of the industry, and to make new connections and do business.
Brilliant. Andy, thank you for joining us today, and I wish you success with the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Well done.